What's up people, Tom here from Pizarro's Pieces. In today's video we're going to talk about one of my favourite subjects, the king of monsters, Godzilla. So the first Godzilla film was made long time ago, back in 1954, and Toho have gone on to make another 28 after that films up until last year 2016 when they made Shin Godzilla. And then obviously Hollywood have produced so far 2 movies with another 2 to come as part of the legendary Monsters franchise, which is going to see Godzilla 2 coming out in 2019 and then King Kong vs Godzilla in 2020. The films have had a huge impact on pop culture, especially in Japan, but I think across the world now. So apart from just the films and obviously the releases of DVDs, you've of course got the toys and the models and everything, but as well as that, you know, Godzilla had cuddly toys and graphic novels and comics, games, Funkos or Funko Pops, even candy. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to eat that now, to be honest with you. Growing up as a kid, I was fascinated by monsters, and you know, I loved dinosaurs. You know, as a kid in the 80s and that, I loved dinosaurs in the 90s. So the fascination with Godzilla eventually came. I think it was kind of like the really early 90s, so I was maybe 7, 8, maybe 9 years old. And then of course Toho brought the toys out in 94, and as you can see behind me, I've got some of them here. But in the 90s, Channel 4 in the UK were showing all the old Godzilla films, so that's how I became more obsessed with it, and I started, you know, watching them all. So my dad used to record them for me on VHS, VHS back in the days, before DVDs, Blu-rays and all that, and recordable boxes, of course. My dad used to record them. Channel 4 was showing them at stupid times. It was like 1, 2 in the morning or something in the UK, so obviously I had school the next day, so my dad was recording them for me. And then I'd be watching them, you know, over the next few evenings or over the next few weeks when I had time to sort of in between doing kids stuff, because, you know, back then, you know, we didn't have iPads and mobile phones and all that. It was, you know, you'd go out and play on your bicycle, go play football or whatever it was you was doing. But yeah, I used to watch all of them, and I can remember, you know, watching. It was annoying because of all the advert breaks. But yeah, I can remember watching all the old ones, going back from the first Godzilla film to Godzilla Raids Again, Destroy All Monsters, Godzilla vs King Ghidorah, or Three-Headed Monster, King Ghidorah. I watched Shin Godzilla a couple of months ago, and I thought it was pretty good. It was quite fast-paced. They did, you know, the Japanese, they don't mess about when they sort of come to filming stuff and that. And in comparison to what the American version in 2014, I thought it was okay, but it just kind of took very long to get going. You know, when you watch Godzilla films, you expect chaos, you know, you expect buildings to be getting smashed, you expect Godzilla to be fighting monsters, and that's what people want to see. You know, people want to see people running down the street going, Godzilla, Godzilla! It's Godzilla! Stuff like that, you know. We don't want to see lovey-dovey romance and all that and politics and stuff beforehand. But yeah, I get they have to try and drag films out. But anyway, that's my thoughts. And I recently just see King Kong, Skull Island. I actually see it in America. I thought it was pretty good. I missed the end, because obviously there's an after credits. I didn't quite realise until after, and I've done my research. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but if you haven't seen it, obviously, and you're into the whole monster genre thing of Godzilla, King Kong, Kaiju and all that, then yeah, I definitely recommend seeing it, because I do believe that Legendary will come good with this. I really hope so. We all know, and if you've seen it on the internet, that there's more monsters due in the Godzilla franchise, so we're going to be seeing some of the famous ones like Mothra, Rodan, and my personal favourite, King Ghidorah. I haven't got too much negative stuff to say about the whole Godzilla franchise. I've always loved it. I know it's quite cheesy, the people dressing in rubber suits and all that. Of course, they'd already kind of done this anyway in Japan with, you know, Ultraman and stuff. But I always liked it. I always thought it was good fun. And then as I've got a little bit older, the films have kind of got a bit better, and the CGI and it's got a little bit more serious, so it looks a little bit more real. The one disappointment I'd say about the whole franchise is the 1998 film that they brought out. Yeah, when I talk to people about it, it's kind of like people kind of just go, yeah, look at the floor. I watched it when I was at school. I can remember going to see it with a few of my friends, and even then I was quite young. It was 98, so yeah, I would have only been sort of, I don't know, 14 or something. And I was disappointed because when you go see the Godzilla films, you expect to see Godzilla, not Zilla, as it was kind of known in the American films. And I have got a figure. I do think the actual monster itself, the Godzilla monster in the 98 film, wasn't too bad. I just found the whole film pretty awful. The storyline wasn't that good, and some of the CGI was a bit weak, and the acting was not pretty good. One of the highlights of that 98 film was this.
What did you see, old man?
Godzilla. Godzilla.
Pretty much as I can remember, that I thought was quite good and funny in the film. The rest of it I kind of blank. So I have seen all the Godzilla films. I think I own about 20 of them on DVD, not including the 1998 one. And yeah, I've jumped on board with this whole legendary franchise universe that they're trying to do, the whole monster thing. And I've been looking online, and a lot of people are not like buying into it. They're saying, oh, it's going to be awful, it's going to be this. I think you've got to give it the benefit of that. I think the 2014 movie was quite good once it got going. It just took an hour to get going. For those that haven't seen Kong Skull Island, it goes from the start. You know, the film doesn't mess about. It's pretty much go from the start. None of this what we see in Godzilla 2014, and I thought it was pretty good. I think the King Kong that Peter Jackson did in 2005, I think it was pretty good. It was a really long film though, but then his films are always long, to be honest with you. But I thought it was quite good. Once it got going again, it just kind of just dragged out for them to get on the island. And sometimes, as a fan of monster movies and giant monsters like these guys, you just kind of want to just get straight into the action. You just want to be, seeing destruction and buildings coming down. Probably my favourite film out of the franchise. There's a few that stand out. Some of them are not particularly great. I wouldn't say any of them are awful, but some of them are just quite boring, and the monsters are quite boring. I mean, Godzilla versus the sea monster, or Ibara. It was, a giant lobster. Let's be serious. If you're going to look at it in Godzilla against a giant lobster, a giant lobster's got no chance, has it really? Let's be fair. Probably one of my favourites was Destroy All Monsters, and only for the fact that so many monsters made appearances in it. So yeah, Rodan, Mothra, Gorosaurus, Manda, Anguirus, who's one of my favourites here. This guy here. So yeah, Destroy All Monsters that's the reason I liked it, just for the simple fact of the amount of monsters that were in it. You had the giant spider in it. I can't think who his name is. So there was quite a few appearances in it, and obviously King Ghidorah. So King Ghidorah is my favourite villain, and in all the films that King Ghidorah has been in, it's always been pretty good. And then obviously you got the Mecha King Ghidorah as well, which came in the later Godzilla films in the Millennium series. You guys have been following for a while and seen some of my videos, you'll know that I'm obviously a big, massive Gremlins fan, as well as Masters of the Universe. They're my two biggest collections, and then kind of behind that is Godzilla and general kaiju. Obviously I've got quite a lot of King Kongs up there, and down here I've got Ultraman and some of the kaiju that were in the Ultraman series. If you were into Godzilla and you like the Godzilla films, which was your favourite one? Leave some comments in the box below. Don't forget to subscribe if you ain't already, and you can catch me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter under Pizarro's Pieces. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys, and until next time, I'll see you then.